in order to gain something from you versus it being loving, becoming more compassionate. It's not always about because you're wearing a specific thing. You notice people are watching you. You notice that people are paying a little more attention than usual. And it's just something that you picked up on, like whether that's you going to a store, you went to like Kroger's or something, and you're just literally minding your own business, and maybe you're not even dressed any type of way, but you just keep noticing that random people will like look in your direction. You might not even be dressed in anything specific or like super duper eye-catching, but for some reason, each time that you select an item or you're going down an aisle, oh, what is that? Every time you go down an aisle and you select an item, you know, you might start noticing like a couple different people looking in your direction, like looking you like directly in your face. And at first you might be thinking like, okay, you know, we're just humans looking at each other. Because think about like the time like where you were out and about and there was something that caught your attention about someone, and you might not even have known what it was, but you know, you're just a human being, and that's what happens. Like you look at the different people around you, but there's something different about when you're a chosen one. And I feel like that's something that happens the more elevated that you go and that you become. You start noticing. Some of you probably have already been experiencing this, where people watch you and stare at you in public. And I'm not going to say it's always necessarily something to fear or to be worried about. It really depends, but obviously use discernment, you know, because if someone's following you, which is definitely something that could happen, that's obviously a thing of, okay, what do I need to do to protect myself safety wise? But, you know, everyone is different and not everyone's going to experience the same type of thing. But as a chosen one, you definitely 100% have experienced people watching you or looking in your direction. And like I was saying earlier, it's not always about because you're wearing a specific thing. And that's important to note, you know, if it's a thing of like you're not even super flashy that day. And that doesn't mean that even the days when you are flashy that people won't be drawn and attracted, because that obviously can happen as well. It's even more amplified because the energy inside your body is alluring and attracting. And then also how you actually physically look, you know, with your clothes, your physical appearance, whatever, you know what I mean, will amplify it even more. But it's definitely something that you can experience even if you're not dressed a certain type of way. It's like they just look, and sometimes, like a lot of times, they don't even say anything, and some people might even smile. It's like they just look in your direction, and it can be kind of weird, especially if you're not really used to that, or if you are new to noticing it, you know what I mean? And people are just noticing your light, people are just noticing your energy. You're very magnetic, people are drawn to that, and people are attracted to that. And you definitely light up a room whenever you walk into a space. And so obviously there's going to be people that notice you, you know. And just to talk about this again, just think about any time that you've went out and there was just some people that just really caught your attention, and you might not have known specifically what it was, because maybe they weren't dressed a certain type of way, or maybe they didn't even have a certain type of physical appearance, but maybe something about them was very glowing, and so that altered their physical appearance. Like, I'm saying that they might not have been dressed in anything flashy, but it was something about their aura and their energy that really just made them appear a certain type of way, like light, and that drew you in towards looking at them, you know. And it's the same thing for you. You've personally experienced the same thing, where it's just you are literally minding your own business and didn't have any expectations at all, and you go into these different spaces and the same thing continuously happen. People are just noticing you. They feel your energy, they feel you as a person, and they can sense something about you. It's the same thing with, like, and this is not me correlating these human beings with flies, because that's two different things. This is just an analogy. But moths or flies, you know, whatever you want to say, how they are usually drawn to light, you know, the flying insects, they're drawn to light. It's a similar thing, except it's one human being that can sense the light of another human being. But that was just a more easier analogy to break it down so that you understand the concept of what I'm talking about. Not comparing human and flies, two different things. That analogy to me works really well because it's like some of those people may not be people that's on the same type of time as you. Maybe these people are not people that, pour into themselves. These people are not people that are compassionate towards other people. They're not very genuine people. And these people are just not about, becoming the best version of themselves. And so, they're definitely gonna notice such a drastic change within the atmosphere, noticing someone is so different from them in comparison to themselves or the other people that they're used to be around. Chosen ones are the type of people who are not, chosen ones are those people who are not desperate for attention. It's one of those things where, like, not even always necessarily that they would prefer no attention. It's just they're not scavenging for attention. They're not searching for it, but it's something that just happens naturally. It's something that they just attract. They just attract attention. And some chosen ones might even be the outgoing type of individuals, but still at the same time, again, it's not something that they're fiending for and looking for. It's just a natural, graceful type of energy where it's very organic how it happens. For me, my understanding of a chosen one are those people that's different. You know what I mean? And what sense do I mean? In the sense that these are people that have dedicated so much time, energy, and effort into pouring into themselves that they really have became the ultimate version of themselves, and they are still on that journey where they are still working on themselves and still finding new and better ways to improve themselves so that they just keep growing as a person, becoming more loving, becoming more compassionate. Yeah. It's just a lightning bug waiting for him to take flight. Go ahead. Those people with very radiating types of energy, and sometimes it's like a very calm type of energy as well, but it's still something so powerful at the same time, because radiating doesn't mean like someone being very obnoxious or being loud or very just in your face about it. It's like they're just in their own energy and existing as themselves, and you can feel that coming from them. Another thing that chosen ones also experience, people that want to be a part of your life, or people that may want to be your friend, people that may want to have conversations with you, and none of these things are negative things or bad things, whatever you want to say. I personally just think it's a matter of, like, setting up boundaries for yourself, obviously, and using discernment, because there's some people that will want to do that in order to gain something from you, versus it being like two human beings who exist and exchange energy pouring into each other type of thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a thing of like, this individual may not be there yet with whatever they got going on, or maybe they have no intentions of doing that. They just enjoy speaking to certain types of people or having access to certain type of people and doing any and everything they can to gain their attention, to gain their time, to gain their energy. It's something important to be very aware of, because that really is a thing. Like, I know for a fact that whenever you start to reach certain levels, there are people like that. And that's not to demonize these people at all, because at the end of the day, even though some of them do it intentionally, where even after so many years, like, you would think 10 years go by and like this person would begin to like have that understanding that they too can also radiate a certain type of energy and light about them if they poured that type of energy into themselves and gave themselves a certain type of love, but they either just don't care, or maybe they're here to serve a different purpose. I don't know, but those types of people really exist, and so it's just very important to be aware of that, because not every single person that comes up to you to speak wants to be a genuine friend. And that doesn't mean that you have to be rude or nasty or disgusting towards any individual, because remember, like, no one should affect how you want to treat other people. You can still make that decision to be loving and kind to another person and to treat a human being like a human being, but also still have boundaries and respect for yourself, and still have certain types of standards, and implement those things whenever it comes to the people that you decide are not supposed to be a part of your life, that are supposed to be okay, I'm gonna keep you over here, that sort of thing. Like, okay, we have an interaction, but at the end of the day, this is not a genuine friendship, and it's not a friendship that you are interested in, and it's okay for you to do that. It doesn't make you a negative person to separate yourself or to not want to give people access to you. And don't ever feel like you owe anyone access to you, that would diminish the type of character that you have as an individual. And at the end of the day, like, you know what type of person you are, so regardless if that's the type of response someone has to you refusing them access, that's their issue. That has nothing to do with you, you know. And there are some people who may try to say things like that, where they'll try to come after your character or what type of person you are, or try to say that you need to humble yourself, or try to say that you need to, you know, not be such a uppity type of person, or not put yourself on a high horse, or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Oh, put yourself on a pedestal, when really all it is you are protecting your energy as an individual. You have that understanding within yourself. You have worked hard to get to where you are, you know, and these are just some of the benefits of it. You know, people are drawn to you, and if you're a person that loves to talk to people, which I'm sure you are, you know, and if you aren't, maybe you will become that. But I love talking to people. I really enjoy talking to people. I love, you know, people sharing different experiences and confiding in me different types of things. It's very interesting. I love connecting with people for sure, but obviously still having boundaries and standards and certain things that I take, certain precautions I take to obviously like protect myself overall, you know. But if you resonated with anything I spoke about, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing so that this video reaches someone who may also need to hear this message. Thank you and bye.